Hello everyone, so welcome back to NonnyPlus. So today we'll be building an ATM machine with ASP.NET Core MVC from scratch. So we are starting our series today, and today is our episode 1. So make sure you pay attention because every details I'm going to be teaching in today's class is very important in building this ATM machine. So we'll be using ASP.NET Core MVC and I'll be starting it from scratch. So by the end of this episode, students should be able to should understand what we are building, understand what MVC means, how to create ASP.NET Core MVC project, and how to run the project. So let me open my notepad. Let me tell you what we'll be building. Let me open my notepad. Okay. Yeah, so let's go. So our ATM machine, we allow user, let me just paste it. Our ATM machine will look like this, and we allow user to First of all, register an account. The second one is login with account number and PIN. The third one is check balance. The fourth one is deposit money. The fifth one is withdraw money. The sixth one is transfer money. The seventh one, view transaction history. And the last one is logout. So this is an MVC project, and we are designing an ATM application. So this is what we'll be doing. By the end of this class, you'll be able to understand how to do all these 8 steps, and users is going to be able to register, login, check, deposit, withdraw, transfer, view, and log out. So what is MVC? Let us start from there. MVC. What is this MVC? I know many of you have been hearing what is this MVC. MVC means model. The V stands for view, and the C stands for controller. So what does models means? Models means represents the data in our application, represent the tables in our application, represent the entities in our application. We're using it to design this application. Let's say, for instance, we have what they call accounts. Let me use accounts. Let me use accounts. We have an account class, and inside this account class, we'll be having these following properties. 1, full name. 2, account number. 3, PIN. 4, let's say the balance. So these are properties of this table. The balance. So these are models. Let me say balance. Yeah. Let us say balance. So this is an account class with full name, account number, PIN, and balance. So this is our model. So model represents the data in our application, represent the tables in our application, represent the entities in our application. Then let's go to view. What are views? So views are what user can see. What is view? View is what your eyes can see. If you open an application, open a mobile application, the first thing, that login page you see, that is a view. Somebody have designed that thing. So we're going to design a view. And what kind of view are we looking at? The kind of view we are looking at, we'll be designing in our application. Let's say, let me write this one for you. So that's 1, we have login page. We have a login page view. 2, we having a register page view. 3, we'll be having a dashboard. Dashboard. Did I get it correctly? Dashboard page view. 4, we're having a deposit page. 5, we're having a withdrawal page. So these are views. We'll create a login page view, register page view, dashboard page view, deposit page view, and withdrawal page view. So view is what the user can see. It's a page the user see. Then what is a controller? Controller is just like the engine room between a data and a view, just like a middleman. So without this controller, the user will not be able to see the view. And without this controller, the user will not be able to take the request from the data and pass it to take the request from the view and pass it to the data, and take the response from the data and pass it to the view. So controller is very important. So controller receives the request from the user, process it, and decide what page to show next to the user. So controller is just like a middleman, like a control room, like the name controller. It control the view and it control what? The data. So let's say a user click on deposit, then controller receive the request of what the user has deposited. Then after the user has deposited, controller will now update the balance of that user. Then after that, controller will now show the view. So the view will now show the new balance after updating the balance. So controller will do two things here: receive the request, process the request, and pass the response to the user so that user can view the balance. So that's what to be building in this application. Remember I said this is episode 1, so you have to pay attention. So let's start. So first of all, you have to open your Visual Studio. Let's go to our Visual Studio. Open your Visual Studio. If you don't have Visual Studio, please make sure you download your Visual Studio. So this is my Visual Studio. This is 2026. There are different versions. If you have version 2022, you can download it. So this is 2026 version, the latest version of Visual Studio. So let's go. What you're going to do now, we have to create a new. Oh, sorry, this one. Oh, I'm not supposed to open this one. Sorry, let me start again. So let me open Visual Studio. I think. Okay, so this is my Visual Studio 2026. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new project. Please pay attention. So we are going to create an ASP.NET Core project. So before we have been creating a console application, but now we are going into deep. We are going deep into coding. We want to create an ASP.NET MVC application. So let's look for ASP.NET Core application. We'll see it here. So this Core Web App, this Core Web API. We are looking for ASP.NET Core Web application. Let's can type it here. You can see ASP.NET. So let's see which one we are going to use. ASP.NET. You can see Core Web Model View Controller. This is what we are looking at. This one here, ASP.NET Core Web App Model View Controller. You click on it and you click on what? Next. Please pay attention. After clicking on next, you now give it a project name. Let me give it a what machine am I be? Let me say Access Bank ATM Machine. Let me leave it like this. Then on the location, this is where you are going to save the project. So you can change it or you can leave it. So me, I'm saving my own in my Nonny IT project. So you can save your own in your own folder, but you can change it or you can just leave it like this. Solution name, don't change it, just leave it the way it is. Don't click on this, just leave it the way it is. Then you click on next. Once you click on next, to show you where you select your framework. Let's pay attention. So you select the latest version. My own latest version here is .NET 10. You see, it's a framework where I'll be running my C# application. So I'm going to select .NET 10. So we have .NET 8. If you have .NET 8 as your latest version on this drop down, you can select it. If you have .NET 5, 6, 7, you can select, but make sure you select the latest version. So don't click anything here. Just leave it the way it is. Just leave it like this. Don't click on enable container support. Just leave it the way it is. Then click on next. So automatically it will build your application. So let's see. Click on create. Once you create, you see that it will build some folders for you. So you can see the folders that was built for us. And but the first folder we are seeing here, on your right hand side, you see a controller, like the three things I mentioned to you. You can see a controller, you can see a model, you can see a view. So this is where our controller will stay. If you open this folder, you see home controller. Once I click on it, you see what is it already. This is like for default. It already created a home controller for me by default. If I go to this model class, you see that it has created a model. Okay, just error view model that we have. So like I said, model is where our data classes will stay. If I go to view page, you see that we have a lot of view page here. We have home page, we have shared. If I click on home, you see that we have the index page and we have privacy page. So it's automatically created an index page for me. If I click on this index page for me, so you can see we have our home page. We have welcome here. You can see learn about Microsoft.com ASP.NET Core building. So if you click on privacy view, you see that it has created a privacy view page for me. Then we have another folder. If you look at that is very important here is the www role. So this is where our CSS file, our CSS file will stay. Yes, this is where our CSS file will stay, and this is where our JavaScript will stay. Our static file will stay. So if you are doing any decoration, adding colors to our view, we're going to put it inside this folder called www root. So I'm not going to go in details with this one, but with time in our continuing episode, I'm going to give you details of what our programs is talking about. So I'm going to explain all this in details, but for now, let's just leave it the way it is so that I didn't get you confused. So now we are just starting with episode 1, but now you are able to understand what controller is, model is, view is, and www root folder. So with time, we will understand this as we progress. So we are done. So let me click on this program. Let me click on this program to see what is inside. So this is where our application will start running. If I run the application, so these are this is where our application will start running. All this you are seeing here. So I'm going to explain all this thing when we go into our next series, but for now, just pay attention. So now what we want to do now, let's run our projects. Let's see whether the computer, because what the computer did there is to give us like a default project for us to know, understand, and to build from it. So let's run it. So you go to this menu, you see a play button, start without debugging, you'll click on it. Let's see if our application is running or not. Click on play button. So let's go. It doesn't take up to 5-10 seconds to come up. If it doesn't come up, there's a problem. Okay, I think it has come up. Let me click on this. Let me bring the view here. So you can see we have the home page. This Access Bank ATM Machine, the name of my project. This is the home page. This one you see welcome, learn about, like what I showed you there on this this index.chtml. You see that we have the home page, we have welcome, and we have learn about. So this is what is displaying here. So this is a view. This is what the user can see. Click on this privacy here. You see that it will show you the privacy policy page. So this is our privacy policy page. So let's now go back to our Visual Studio. Since we have run this application, let's go back to our Visual Studio. Now what we'll be creating now is a model. We're creating a class called account. Since we are building an ATM machine, the first thing we need is an account, because every ATM user must have what? Account details. We have to create a class called account, and where you're going to create this class called account is here. under this model folder, you can see, you right click on it, click on add, you click on class, and you give the name of the class, which is an account. Once you click on account, you click on what? Add. So now it has created a class account which is public. Remember I taught you about access modifier. We have different access modifier. We have the public, the private, the internal, and the protected. So now we are creating a public class because it's accessible. It's an accessible class called account. So you can see this namespace here, Access Bank ATM Machine. This Access Bank ATM Machine is coming from this. You can see the solution. You can see this folder here, Access Bank ATM Machine. Then these dots means what? Dot model. So if I remove these models, you can see that this account will display. If I remove this model class and click on, oh sorry, if I remove this model class, click on dots, you see to show me models controllers. So here now we have models folder, and inside the model folder we are calling this accounts class. That's why we have this namespace called dot models. So what do we need inside this account class? What we need in an account class, we have, first of all, very important, we must have an ID, primary key, an ID that is public, let's say PRO, tab, public int ID, identifier, a unique identifier. Let me just use a unique identifier for this account. So we have public int ID. Let's duplicate this one. If you want to duplicate, you click on it and you click on Ctrl D. So what again do we need for these properties of the class? We need what? Full name. Yes, we have full name. What do we need again? You can duplicate it. String words. What do we need? An account number. Account number. Let me duplicate it again. What do we need again? We need a public string word pin. Public string pin. And lastly, what do we need? I think we need account balance. So you can come here, public balance. Balance is what? To show you the available balance in there. There is a value. So sometimes you might have a balance of 1,000 naira 42 kobo. So that dot 42 kobo, instead of using integer, we use what? A decimal. Because if we use an integer, some values will be lost. If an account balance, if a customer has 250,000 naira dot 42 kobo, and you are saving it inside an integer or inside an integer, you are saving it on an integer, you see that the dot 42 kobo will be lost. Dot 42 kobo will be lost because that is not the right data type. Because if you use a decimal, it will save the right values. The customer will be able to view the right account balance. So it's very important if you are building a financial institution application. You have to save. If you are doing like something like balance or anything related to money, you have to use a decimal so that you get all the values correctly. That when the customer is showing the balance or trying to deposit money or withdraw money, some values will not be lost during the process. That's why we're using public decimal. So we'll give it here balance. So this get and set, I've taught it in my previous video, so you can go back to my videos and read what are gets and what are the importance of using get and set in this my properties. So each property here, so we have the int ID, which is a unique number for each account in a database. Unique number, unique identifier. For every user has a unique identifier. Every user go to the database with that unique identifier. With that ID, you can get the full name, the account number, the PIN, the balance, everything about that particular about that particular user. So that's why we have, that's why it is called a unique identifying number. That is on line 5. On line 6, we have the string string store full name. On line 7, we have the account number. So this is what the customer will use to log in, and the PIN also. This is what the customer will use also to log in with the account number. And we have the decimal called balance. So we use decimal for money. Don't forget, decimal are always used for money. It is more accurate in doing any financial value. So in case you have not watched all my videos and you're in this class or you're in this series, you have to go back to all those videos. Start from my video 1 to the last of this the last video I just uploaded. That was the last one before this one. You have to understand every detail before you can be able to understand what I'm teaching here, because without that video you're able to understand what I'm teaching here. But now you have an idea on how to create an MVC project, run an MVC project, know the difference between model, views and controller, and also how to run an application. So now I'm going to stop here. We have already built, we have already created a model class called account and its property. So this is the way we are going to use these properties inside this class. Very important. Please save your work, because we are going to continue this class in the next episode. So in episode 2, we'll create the register page where user can open a new ATM account. This is very, very, very important. So if you are here, please kindly subscribe. If you are here to subscribe, share these videos to someone that is interested in learning coding. Coding is very important. You have to learn coding in 2026. You have to learn tech, either as a backend developer, a front-end developer, or a full stack developer. You have to learn any of these skills in tech, because we are moving gradually to AI technology. So you have to understand every bit of coding. You have to understand every bit of technology using AI and using coding. Very, very important. Please, very, very important. So my students, please, we're going to see you in the next episode. Please go to my video and watch my series. Go to my videos, comment, watch my series, and share these videos to people that are interested. So see you in the next episode. Bye.